Hello everyone, I'm here today with a new process video and I am working on more photos from San Francisco. These are from the Asian Art Museum. This was one of the last stops of the day. Everything in there was gorgeous, so I had to really cut back on the photos to figure out what I was going to focus on here. I decided on these. They all kind of go together, I think, so why not showcase them? So on my 4x8, I probably only have room to do something either off the side here or off the top, which is fine. Over here, I have one pocket I have to fill. And if I do embellishments over here, it might only be on the card. Because, I mean, look at these photos. They're so intricate and have so much going on. I don't really want to cover up any of that. So it limits what I can do, but hopefully this will be a fast layout then, because if I'm only embellishing here and maybe here, that's pretty good. Because I did a couple of other Asian themed layouts earlier in my album, I kind of know already I don't have a lot of cards. And what would match this, I'm not even sure. So I've just grabbed out a bunch of other stuff. So I have some ephemera pieces that I printed. They're digital and I just need to cut them out. But the colors here kind of work. So I have that as an option. I have a whole bag of other stuff here. Miscellaneous stickers, bits of paper. I love these, but they don't really go with this, sadly. And then I have this bag of stuff, and this is where most of the cards are in here. I really don't think any of those are going to match. I do also, though, have this piece of paper thrown in. It's a 4x6. I could definitely use this if I wanted to. It's very neutral. It works with all those colors. So I'm going to just look through there and see, like, do I have any cards left that would match? I don't think so. And then if I don't, then I'll have to go into my papers and start looking at that option. And looking through the cards, the only one I had that was even remotely close to anything was this one. And I like it in theory, but the pink is too light. It doesn't go with this. I feel like this is much darker. So I don't think that's going to work. So sad on that one, but I can save it and use it for something else. But that likely means I'm going to have to build my own. So I need to start looking through my different papers and then see what I have. So I pulled a bunch of papers out of there that were already cut into that I thought maybe I could use them. So I have this one, which the background is very neutral. And you know what? With the way this is made, I don't even know which way is up on here. I'd have to guess. But I could use it if I had to. It's just so busy compared to everything else. Like, I just don't know that I would want that. And then some of them were just obviously no. Like, these just do not go. I thought maybe like a black and a white would work. This is completely too busy. I have a similar problem here. It's a little better, but not by much. And definitely not this side. Way too crazy. I had this. That's a little better, but still like more pattern than I want. And then this is the other side made to like cut some of these things out, I think. So I would never use that. More black. This is the other side, which at least here we're getting closer to the color, but way too busy again. Now, this paper, this is the one I think is going to be the winner. It's busy. I mean, there are things on it, but look at it. Definitely has things going on, but look at the color. These are the closest color matches that I've found in any of my paper. So I think it's going to have to be this one. But then it's a matter of how do I strategically cut into it to get what I want, because I only need 3x4. So I'm wondering if maybe on this side, it's a little bit more open, I should do 3 inches and just cut it that way. And then if we do it this way, get it right side up. I think that's how it's supposed to be because they're the dragons. But if I do 3 inches from here, this will basically be the background of my card. That's pretty good. Like, I'm not losing a whole lot by doing that, but the color is still good. You still have a mix of the kind of pinky red plus a little bit of the gold tone behind there. I think that's probably the best way to cut this. I have cut the paper down and I'm happy with the way that it looks, but when I look at the layout, I don't like these next to each other. So I am going to restructure the photos here. So this will end up here, this will move over, and then I'll switch those accordingly. Now I have switched them around. I like it better that the colors here are not right next to each other. And when I am looking at this, I am thinking that I probably also need something gold because I have this and this, and so it would work to kind of bring it all together if I had something here. I do think I have a large gold doily. I just don't remember exactly where it is right now, but if I could maybe cut part of that to use here, it might kind of go with this type of thing. Very intricate pattern, so I'm gonna see if I can find that and then I'll go from there. I found the gold doily that I thought I had. Here it is. I love the color of it. I think it would work well. I'm trying to figure out how to best cut it. Like, should I just cut off the top quarter and then I can cut it down from there? Should I cut it in half and cut it again? I'm not sure exactly. I feel like maybe cutting the top quarter is the better way to go because then I still have 3/4 left to use if I screw it up or if I want to use it for a bigger layout or whatever. So maybe that's the way to do it. Now, I will say I've had one of these before. I think I cut it with my trimmer, but you have to be careful because of course when you sever all these little lines in between here, it starts to fall apart sometimes. So I'll just have to do it very, very carefully. All right, I have this all set up. Hopefully you're being able to see that well on camera. In order to make sure that I cut it straight, since this is round, I'm just kind of lining up these points here that I can see. And that should make it fairly straight. And then I'm just going to cut with my trimmer. Okay, that doesn't seem too bad. All right, you can see there it did pull a little bit. So I guess if you want to cut by hand and you feel like you can do it and get it straight, go ahead. This isn't too bad. This is the only one that really kind of got a little messed up there. So let me get this out of the way. All right, so this is what I have left. So now I just have to figure out how do I want to use it? Do I want it to like be top or bottom so you can really see that nice curvature there? Do I want it on the side like so? That's kind of cool actually. And then if I wanted to, I could layer a phrase, maybe a small embellishment or piece of ephemera of some kind. I'd have to look through my Asian bin again to see what I have, but maybe doing this is the way to go. I have put adhesive on the back of this as best I can. I was still using this. I didn't really want to bring out liquid glue for this if I could help it. So I just tried to kind of center it as best I could. With most of the adhesive being on these wider parts. A little bit tougher to get in here, but I chose like these flowers. You can get a nice dab of adhesive on there, and of course right here. I think this looks pretty good. And then all I have to do, I'm going to use a junkier scissors to cut this since it's not paper. All I have to do is just cut off the excess there. Those pieces are not really enough to save, but let's see. Ooh, look at that. I like how that looks. So I'm going to keep that. Now I just have to figure out like what am I going to layer over it, and I still need something for up here. When I'm looking at all of this, I pulled out my phrases that I have from a digital set too that I just never cut them all apart. And I think I'm going to go with this one that says the culture. You can tell it's gray, so I need to cut off this little bit here at the end that's white. There we go. And then I think maybe I'll just layer it like that. And I don't even know if I need anything else. I could maybe do like a little splattering with kind of a brownish tone that I have, but I'm not sure I need it. But for now, let's just actually do this. Get my adhesive on there. And it's stuck on right about, that's too close to the middle. Right about here, I don't want to totally cover up that flower pattern right there. It's so pretty. That's straight, a little bit down to the left, I think. little too much. I always have this problem. I'm trying to make stuff even, and you have to be careful with the doily to make sure that it doesn't rip if you have to reposition. And actually, I need more adhesive here. I thought I had some on that end, but maybe I didn't. Just to make sure that stays down a little bit better. There we go. That's pretty good. All right, so now I have that. I still have to figure out what to put over here. I have some other phrases, but I don't know that I want to use those. They're a little too big too. I was thinking maybe the history, because I had the culture, the history, but that's a little too big. Doesn't fit. So I will go back into my stash of stuff and see what I can do. In looking through all of my stuff, I can't find anything that I'm really happy with. So I think I'm going to sort of cop out a little bit. I'm going to use one of these stickers because it's got the nice gold border there, so it matches here. And I will hang it over the edge there, but I need to stamp something. So I need something kind of a little generic, maybe like spectacular or something like that. I don't want to just have beautiful. I used beautiful stamp on a different layout, so I don't want that. But I need some kind of smaller word that will fit in here, but that also kind of fits the theme. I found a stamp that I want to use. I'm going to use this set. This is from Ellie Studio. I'm going to use this one that says "Love This." It should fit in there nicely, right in the lower half, which is what I want. And I can leave a little bit to maybe have room for a staple, but maybe not. Since I don't have one here, maybe I don't want one over there, I'm not sure. But I'll do the stamping and then I'll figure it out. And I should say that because these stickers are a slick surface, I will switch to using my StazOn for this. Normally I just use a regular Memento black ink, but for this I definitely want the StazOn. I did my stamping, came out very nicely, and I'm going to cut off this top part. And that is actually enough where I might use that on something else, just like, again, overlap the top or something. Can't fit much on it, but it could be a design element, so I'm actually going to save it. So I'll put that one back on the sheet so I can use that again for something else, hopefully. And then let's see how this looks. I feel like that does need a staple. Where's my stapler? Here it is. Okay, we're gonna put that in. There we go. I didn't do one over here. Maybe I should. I can just do it quickly right at the end there as a holder to place that. And let's see, what do I think? Yeah, I think this one is done. I don't think I need anything else. I'm trying to keep it relatively simple because there's so much going on. So here's another one finished for San Francisco. Thanks for watching.